Fridays are so, in my opinion, great. It's Friday. So happy Friday. We will start on our backs as usual. We're going to let everyone get settled. A couple gentle reminders as you start to settle. I haven't said it for a while. If you're at home or in your office, look around, check. Make sure your space is safe. You won't trip on anything. And then for all of us, just remembering that we all have agency over our practices over the next 45 minutes that we're here together. Meaning if something doesn't feel safe or comfortable, please back out, do what you need to do to feel really comfortable and safe, strong. You can't do it wrong. Okay, so just that reminder that as long as you're, feeling okay and you're breathing, you're on the right track. Okay, so with that, let's just take a couple moments to move around a little bit, settle onto your mat, into the floor. Give your body time to find and feel some stillness. So we intentionally hold the bones still. The mat that you're on connects into the floor, and the floor connects into the earth, which holds us up. If you're feeling support, you're feeling at ease, go ahead, let go into the ground. We'll practice following your breath. So we could use the body's connection, relationship to your breath as an anchor. So feeling an inhale, feeling an exhale. And how does it feel just to be able to slow down a little bit? Or maybe you're slowing down a lot. And then how does it feel to slow down and feel your body breathe? And then we're going to practice the full commitment exhale. Let the whole exhale happen. And as the whole exhale happens, noticing where the exhale becomes the inhale. Full exhale. Observing, feeling your exhale turn into your inhale. We'll take 3 more exhales right here. And then when you feel your next exhale, acknowledge. And this time, let's show some gratitude, appreciation for our breath. It's pretty awesome that we get to inhale. And then we're going to start some gentle movements to wake up your core a little bit. So we'll bend your knees. So if you're not on your backs, come onto your backs, bend your knees. And then bringing your knees up over your hips and your arms up towards the ceiling, will bend and bring your elbows over your shoulders. So knees over hips, elbows over shoulders, and just pause for a moment to feel your back body. This practice of embodiment, remember, we're trying to stay with the breath in our body. And then with an exhale, you're going to bring your knees in and your elbows and maybe touch your elbows to your knees and feel how that rounds your back. And then press your knees forward and take your elbows back and find more length and space between your knees and your elbows, and then bring them back together. So exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale, slide the legs forward, arms, elbows back. Once you get the movement, can you concentrate a little more on the strength and stability? So you're going to keep this movement and try not to move your spine. Okay, so it's going to move. So let's don't get too confused. But as you bring your knees and your elbows together, you're going to feel that movement and try and resist it. And then as you slide your elbows back and your knees forward, you're going to feel your spine move, but try and resist it. Don't let it just kind of flop around. Really turn on a little more of those abdominal core muscles and try and resist the spine moving. You're adding internal resistance. We'll do 2 more. And then on your second one, coast back to elbows over shoulders, knees over hips. And that will help you define neutral spine. So elbows a little more over your shoulders, knees a little more over your hips. And then that feeling of neutral in your spine, strength through your core, will exhale, take all 4 limbs up towards the ceiling, and inhale, bend. Follow your breath. So exhale, lengthen up. Inhale, bend. If you want more or a different challenge, go contralateral when you're ready. So that would be lifting your left leg and your right arm, and then lifting your left arm and your right leg. So going side to side like this a few more times from the feeling of your breath. Can you move from your breathing? You feel the breath and then you move. Excellent. 1 or 2 more. And then we'll let all the limbs come down, hang out. And then using your body with your breath as an anchor. Notice how it feels to take 2 or 3 breaths. And then following your exhale all the way through, paying attention, feeling the exhale turn into your inhale. With your next exhale, let's bring your knees back up over your hips. And then bring your arms, hands down on the back of your legs. And then you're going to push your heels up and pull your legs away from you and start to slowly roll up a little bit. You might roll up a little bit, you might roll up a little more. Just come to your place of challenge and see if you can soften the shoulders and the chest a little bit. Keep pushing out through your heels. Take an exhale and then roll all the way back down onto the floor. Take your legs back up towards the ceiling. Press out through your heels. Press your legs away from you. Start to lift your shoulders. Roll up a little bit. Take a couple breaths. And then we'll take a fork in the road. You can either start to roll up, 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 up to seated, or roll all the way onto your back. Ooh, and then either coming onto your back or coming up to seated. 3 more breaths to feel your breath and body come together. Observing exhale, turning into inhale. And then if you're on your back, we're going to roll over. And then we're all going to figure out how to come on up to standing. Woo. So coming all the way on up to standing. Sweet. So if you're in the room, you can look at me or you can look out at the lake, look at the water, whatever works for you, okay? We're going to take your feet wide. Heels will come in, toes will go out, arms will hang. So let's just start with your arms. Let's exhale, sweep your arms out and up. And inhale, pull the arms down and in. 2 more. So feel, listen, go from your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Last one on your own. Great. Exhale, add the sumo squat going down. Inhale, coming up. From your breath, exhale. Inhale. Great. 3 more on your own from the breath, using your breath as a cue. Next time you're in a little sumo squat with your arms overhead, pausing. Great. Feel your thigh bones and see if you can take your thigh bones and press them back a little bit, just to get a little more open through the front of the hip. And then shift some awareness to the back of your ribs. So feeling what you can't see. Inhale, can you feel the back of the ribs lift up? Great. Exhale, long spine, fold forward. Keep your knees bent. Bring your hands into your hips. Maybe start to straighten your legs, nice and gentle. Just pay attention. No need to overstretch your back or your hamstrings. 3 breaths again. Anchoring body with breath. Exhale turns into inhale. Next exhale, feel the exhale. Inhale, coming all the way on up to standing. Stepping your feet together. Great, turning to face the back of your mat. So we'll walk to the back of the mat, let the arms hang. Building your standing mountain meditation shape. Once again, 3 breaths. Anchoring, breath with body. Exhale turns to inhale. With your next exhale, sweep your arms out and up. Okay. Bending the knees a little bit, putting the weight into your heels, pull your hip creases back like you were going to sit in a chair. Doesn't have to be a low chair. It can be a pretty high chair stool. And then fold over, check in with the hamstrings, back of the legs, with your glutes, with your low back. See if you can touch the floor maybe. That might mean you have to bend your knees a lot. Then inhale, come all the way back up. 2 more. So from the hips, you're going to pull the butt hip creases back, fold and reach. Inhale, come up. Last one on your own from your breathing. Bend your knees as much as you need. We come all the way on up and pause. Arms come down by your sides. Full inhale, full exhale. Feel your next exhale. Sweep the arms out to come up back to that chair. Reach and fold. And you're going to walk your hands out in front of you. So you're going to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, and either come down to tabletop or bend your knees and pull your hip creases back and build your downward facing dog. So either coming down to your tabletop or curling your toes and going back into your downward facing dog. Go ahead and feel out your dog for a little bit, pedal your feet if you need. And then again, we take 3 breaths, breath and body coming together. Exhale, turning to inhale. Next exhale, we'll all come down to tabletop. Let's do a little bit of work in the upper back, okay? Across the back shoulders into your core. So from here, just look down, make sure your hands are nice and strong. Fingers are all pressing, grounding into the mat. Could have your index pointer fingers facing more forward, parallel, and then you can isometrically really pull your thumbs together. Okay. And then from here, you're going to push your hips back or pull your hips back, however you feel that. And then you're going to come to child's pose. So you pull back. And then you're going to pull yourself into table. So you're going to pull yourself to table. And you're going to pull your chest forward, which is going to give your arms and your wrists a little bit different load. And then you're going to push back to child's. Okay, now if you're at home and this doesn't work on your knees, grab a chair and build your tabletop on a chair. So then we're going to add on, if this is working, you're going to be really aware as you bring your shoulders forward, forward, forward over your wrists. And you're going to do a little push up and then push back to child's pose. So you're loading your upper back shoulder area and your core differently as you pull forward and push back. Okay. Paying attention to how your body moves with your breathing. Try 2 more. If you need to rest, rest. And then after those 2, you'll push back to either child's pose or build downward facing dog, okay? So we're all really different. Our bodies move differently. That's why we go slow, so that you can feel and respond to your body as you need to. So you might push back to child's pose. You might lift your knees and pull your hip creases back to down dog. Everybody finds their shape for 3 breaths. We slow things back down. We yoke the breath with the body and pay attention to the exhale becoming the inhale. With your next exhale, acknowledge there's your exhale. And we got to walk your feet up to your hands. So if you're in child's pose, come on up. Lots of ways to come on up to standing. Find your way. Take a nice full body stretch. And bring your hands back down. 3 breaths. All right, so every week we talk about symmetry because it helps us stay connected to midline, to our core. So just in space here, see if you can line your shoulders up over your ribs. I tend to be somebody who likes to really push my ribs forward. Whew, so this is where my work is. And then ribs over your hip bones. And remember, you're human, so it doesn't have to be exact, okay? It's just, there's your awareness. We're gonna step your left leg all the way back. And you're gonna have a high heel, build that high lunge. And then come back to that symmetry. Okay, so shoulders, ribs, hips. You choose, your hands can be at your hips. You could bring your fingertips together. As long as you don't push your chest forward, you can bring your arms up. Okay, so keeping your pelvis steady, take your back leg and push the heel back to the wall behind you. So the wall behind me is way back, but I'm going to energetically feel my leg pushing into the wall. And I'm going to let my right knee, let your right knee come forward a little bit, just enough. Take 3 breaths. And then step your right foot or left foot back up front. Right knee comes forward, step your right leg back. Build this lunge. Remember symmetry. Drawing your ribs down and in helps you connect a little more to your upper abdominals. Right thigh bone presses back. Choose where you want your arms, hands. 3 breaths. Right thigh bone drawing back, in opposition, your left knee going forward. Soft, sweet eyes. With an exhale, step both feet together. Exhale, arms sweep out to come up. Chair, put the weight in your heels a little more, build your chair. Exhale, fold. Step back, tabletop or downward facing dog. Exhale, come down to table. Press back to child's. Pull yourself forward and do a push-up. Press back to table, child's pose, or downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Come back, acknowledge, there's your exhale. Can you feel the exhale turn into the inhale? And then we have to come back to standing. So everyone has their own way. Step, step. Coming up mindfully with awareness, paying attention. Hands come down into your hips. 3 breaths. Stepping your feet wide. Great. Heels come in, toes go out. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, come on up, sweep the arms, and 2 more. Next time your knees are bent, your arms are up, pause. Thigh bones press back a little bit. Back of the rib cage awareness. You feel the back of the ribs as you breathe. 3 breaths. A little more challenge, a little deeper bend. Hands come down, legs straighten. Great, stepping your feet to the front of your mat. Arms hang. Exhale, sweep your arms out and up. Chair pose. Exhale when you're ready, fold forward. Stepping back, tabletop or downward facing dog for a breath. Exhale, tabletop. Pushing back, child's pose. Pulling your chest forward, maybe doing a push-up. Back to tabletop child's pose or downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Yoking breath with body. Exhale turns to inhale. Next exhale, say thank you to the exhale, thank you to the inhale. And then figure out how you're going to come all the way on up to standing. Coming all the way on up, arms rest to your side, 3 breaths. Left leg, stepping your left leg all the way back, building that high lunge again. So you can always go by a wall or grab a chair. If balance is an issue, make sure you feel supported. Shoulders, ribs, hips. Where do you want your arms? Maybe at your hips, maybe together, maybe up overhead. Breathe. Can you feel the breath in your back? Exhale, bring your hands into your hip creases. And you're going to push your hip creases back, long spine, tip forward, and come back up. So a little more challenging when you tip forward, try not to push your right butt cheek out to the right. So it might feel like you're squeezing your legs into a block. You're tipping. And on your third tip, build just the right projected lunge for you. So you might tip forward an inch. You might tip way over, bringing your shoulders down a little more level with your hips. Hands could be in your hips, or hands could be on your knee. Hands could be together. 3 breaths, yoking breath with body. Exhale turns to inhale. Press into that right leg to come all the way back up to the high lunge. Stepping both feet together. Exhale when you're ready, sweep your arms out and up. Chair. You got this, fold forward. Stepping back, downward facing dog or tabletop. Everyone comes down to table, to child's pose. Stay here or come forward and do your knee push-up. We meet back in tabletop child's pose or downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Yoking breath back with your body. Exhale turns to inhale. Next exhale, say thank you. Inhale, say thank you. We got to come back up to standing. So figuring that out for yourself. See if you can keep that awareness all the way on up to standing. Arms come down by your sides, 3 breaths. Right leg, stepping your right leg all the way back. So you're building your foundation as long as it takes you. You never have to stay with the group. So hips under ribs, ribs under shoulders, pick where you want your hands to be. And then 3 projected lunge, tip forwards, coming back up. Try to keep that left butt cheek in. You might have some feeling like your legs are squeezing in, adding strength awareness to your adductor feeling. You build your projected lunge. Your projected lunge should feel good and strong. Soften your shoulders. And as you find it for 3 breaths, what's it feel like? Yoking breath to body. Exhale, push in that left leg a little more. Come all the way on up. Step both feet together. Exhale, sweep your arms out and up. Chair pose. Exhale, fold. Tabletop or downward facing dog. Exhale, tabletop. Back to child's pose. Pulling yourself forward. 1 push-up. Back to down dog, child's pose, or tabletop. 3 breaths. Yoking breath to body. Exhale turns to inhale. With your next exhale, say thank you. And we got to walk your hands and feet together again. And come all the way on up to standing. Build your standing mountain. And take 3 breaths. Left leg, last time through, left leg's gonna step all the way back. Build your high lunge. Build your projected lunge. You can bring your elbows to your knee. You might stay right here, or you might start to shift the weight forward and come on your back left tiptoes. So the challenge is to lift the back leg a little bit, trying to keep the pelvis, the ribs, and the shoulders more stacked. You might not lift your left leg, who knows? You could tip all the way and bring your fingertips to the floor, which might feel a little more like a standing plank table combo thingy. Yeah, thingies, right? Maybe we shouldn't even label it. Hang out. And then if your left leg's up, put the left leg back down. Ooh, we all got to come back somehow to that standing high lunge. Then we're going to hang out there for a moment. Whoa. And then step both feet together. Yeah. Exhale, arms swing out to come up. Weight in the heels, chair. Exhale, fold. Step back, tabletop or downward facing dog. Down to tabletop. Back to child's pose. Optional if you want it, pull yourself forward, push up. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Yoking breath to body. Exhale turns to inhale. And walk your hands and feet together when you're ready. And come all the way back on up. 3 breaths. One more side. Right leg's gonna step back. Build. So, I don't know about any of you, the hardest part of yoga practice for me is when I tell myself a story of what's gonna come. Like I already know what we're going through, right? You know the routine. So you might have already told yourself like, oh, this is gonna be so hard. Oh crap, we have to do this side. Try and just let that go. Imagine you've never done this before, right? Like beginner's mind, you've never done this. Bend your left knee a little deeper, press your right thigh bone back. Okay, what does it feel like? Try not to compare it to the other side. Tip forward, right? And just go through the stages or the steps really slowly. And pause in the certain steps that are interesting to you, right? Like if it's really hard, maybe there's something good there. Sometimes when it gets really hard, we just detach from it or go really fast or we skip it. It's hard. Ooh, how can you break it down? Because you can do hard things. Find a place where you feel strong. You just read the shirt that says, I am powerful. So here you are. Hang out. Take a couple breaths. And then the right leg can come back down. Try not to rush to get out of it. Come slowly. And step both feet together. Whew. Here we go. Exhale, arms float out. Chair to fold to table or down dog. Down to table to child's pose to the optional pull forward push up. And then we all pick a place, maybe child's pose or downward facing dog. And this time we'll hang out for 5 breaths. So you can push your hips all the way back if that works for you. If child's pose doesn't work, by all means, feel free to roll on your back and draw your knees in. You can roll to your side. Just intentionally slow your body back down. Yoking breath back with body. Following exhale into inhale. Noticing whatever you are noticing. The practice of letting that go. And when you feel your next exhale, we're going to make our way onto our backs. So from your exhale, that'll be your cue to roll onto your back. Bend your knees. So come back to constructive rest pose. Bringing your arms down by your side. So arms are going to come down maybe a little bit wider than your mat. And you can press your palms down, thumbs to pinkies anchoring, almost like you can feel like downward facing dog hands, strong fingers. And then pressing the upper arm bone as well. So nice back of the arm awareness. And then pressing through your feet, we're going to just slowly roll up your back. So press your belly button down, and that'll press your low back into the floor. And then vertebra by vertebra, starting in your low back, rolling up into a low bridge. And then rolling back down. So it might feel a little bit like a low back massage. Feel your pelvis and your low back. Get some stretch, but there's lots of strength involved. We'll do one more. This time, when you roll up, you can do a pretty low bridge, meaning that your hips don't have to come super high off the floor. You want to feel nice and connected through your heels, and you're going to push your heels down and then send your shins forward. Knees, shins energetically going forward. Lots of strength connection, navel to spine in that low belly. And then your sacrum, the back of the pelvis, pushes up to the ceiling with your pubic bone. And then you just start slowly lifting the pelvis higher, higher, higher. You should not feel overly pinched in the low back. And hopefully your chest can soften a little bit. And if you're wondering, oh, I feel this in my hamstrings, you got it. Yes, lots of hamstrings. And then lower it all down. Take a breath or two. If you need to adjust your legs. You might walk them out a little bit. And then we're going to do it again. Pressing into your heels through the back of the arms. Press your navel down and just slowly start to tuck your pelvis and roll up to a low bridge. Connect into the lower abdominals and then take your sacrum and press it up with your pubic bone. So height can be a thing for sure. Try not to lose length. How long can you feel from your belly button to your pubic bone out your knees? 2 breaths. Softer chest, softer throat, soft face, and then lowering all the way down. Great. Knees come up over your hips. You can hold on to the back of the legs and just press your heels out and up and give some stretch through the back of the legs into the low back. And then with an exhale, keep your right leg up. Just bend your left foot or bend your left knee. I'm not sure your foot bends. Bring your left foot to the floor and draw your right knee all the way up into your chest. Give yourself 2 or 3 breaths. And then switch sides. Left knee comes all the way on up. Right foot comes down. And then both feet can come down. Walk your feet wide on your mat. Arms come back down by your side, and then just nice and slowly windshield wiper your legs so the knees can fall over to the right, to the ceiling, and then over to the left. If you're feeling any sort of pinch in the back of your hips or your low back, just bring your knees back into your chest. We'll go one more time to the right, one more time to the left. And then we'll take the knees up to the ceiling and then let the knees drop into each other. And then push your knees together, just 3 breaths. And then back to constructive rest pose. And coming all the way back full circle. Checking in with yourself. How are you feeling? How's it going? You always take the last minute or so for self-care. So starting with just answering that question, right? How are you? How do you feel physically and energetically? How's your breath? No one can hear your answer but you. So as we come into the last minute, we take the last minute in silence. You might want to just kick back and relax and rest, catch your breath. You might want to do some favorite stretching. So we'll be really quiet for a short time. It's giving you time to hear, listen to your breathing, move your body. Feeling the earth beneath you. Knowing the earth will hold you up. Feeling your exhale, can you let go into the ground just a little tiny bit? Yoking your body with your breathing. You feel your exhale turn into your inhale. And then with your next exhale, drawing your knees into your chest. So if you're on your back, drawing your knees into your chest, slowly starting to rock a little bit side to side. And we'll roll over to the easiest side and slowly come on up to sitting. When you get up, if you'd like to join your hands and bring your arms overhead, we'll just take a nice upper body stretch. Great. From here, we'll just open it up and give each other high fives. Woohoo! Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for showing up. It's good to see you all. Sorry I kept you a little late again. Have a fabulous weekend and see you on Tuesday. Thank you.